Welcome back to Curriculum Week this week. Today is going to be all about my 7th grade homeschool picks for the upcoming school year. Hi, I'm Erin. I'm a homeschooling mom of 4 kids, and this week we've been talking all about curriculum and the things that we're going to be using in the upcoming school year this fall. If you have missed any of the videos this week, make sure you check out the playlist in the description below where you'll get to see our picks for kindergarten, 3rd grade, 5th grade, and 7th grade. I will have linked below this video here timestamps so you can jump ahead if there's any particular subject area that you are interested in. I honestly have never had all of my curriculum picked this early in the year. I really only kind of pushed myself to make decisions now so that I could do these videos for you while you are actively searching for stuff for you. So you can kind of see what we've chosen and what we think works for us, so that if you kind of homeschool in a similar style or fashion, that maybe some of these things might work well for you too. So please don't feel overwhelmed if you haven't picked what you're gonna do yet. You have plenty of time to make your decisions, and I hope that this video series is helpful to you in that process. First off, before I show you what we're using, I just feel like I have to tell you with any of these curriculum videos that what I have chosen is what I feel like is going to work best for our family. It may or may not work for you, so I encourage you to do your own research and try to find a curriculum that you feel like is going to fit your children and your family and your kind of method of teaching best. Don't just take my word for it. Okay, so let's jump into our 7th grade picks. And first up, for language arts, we are going to be using a writing curriculum. And this is something that I just found in doing some research and trying to find a good writing curriculum for my son, who is very good at creative writing. But we really want to improve that because it's something that he loves and really excels at, and is something that he could potentially use a lot more later in the future if he decides to get into writing as a career. And so we chose Write Shop, and he's going to be doing level 2 for his 7th grade school year. Now, this particular curriculum for Write Shop level 2, they do say it's for 8th through 11th grade. So FYI, it might not be for all 7th graders. The Write Shop level 1 is geared towards 6th through 10th graders. So the teacher manual includes the information for both level 1 and level 2, and then you get the student workbook based on which one you're doing. The reason we chose this particular curriculum for him was that it seemed like it had a lot of really great instruction about how to improve your own creative writing. He has been working on a book that he's writing for the last year or so, so I really thought that this would be a great option to help him really just dive deeper into how he can describe his characters better and come up with some good plot twists and different things. So this kind of goes through a lot of teaching them how to edit their own work and evaluate their own work, and looking at different errors, and introduces different styles of writing. So it looked like a well-rounded curriculum that he's excited to get into, something where he's going to be learning new things to help improve his writing. He's not necessarily doing like a grammar curriculum. That's something that we will just go through as he's doing writing assignments and things like that. We will go through and talk through how to correct his grammar and work on sentence structure and different things like that if he's not doing a good job at that. For me personally, I am not concerned about him learning, or any of my kids really, learning things like diagramming sentences or things that they're just honestly like never going to use in their life. I am much more concerned with them being able to put good thoughts on paper, to write well. As long as I understand the concepts, that's enough for me. And so certainly as he gets older, we will have to do some of that, understanding the different terms and things like that. But right now I'm more focused on him just being able to develop his writing skills in an area, something that he really enjoys doing, so we don't kill that love of learning and that enjoyment factor. I want this to be exciting for him and fun for him and not just drudgery. And so that's where we're at with him and his writing and language arts stuff. Now, there is the other part of language arts. One little thing that we're going to be doing is penmanship or handwriting, which he's going to be doing the patriotic penmanship. This is grade level 5, even though he's going to be grade 7. We introduced cursive a little bit later than this particular curriculum does. So he's still working on mastering cursive. So this is going to be teaching him a little bit more good practice on a little bit slower pace than having to just copy out huge paragraphs in cursive. It has a little bit more repetition in it than that. But what I really liked about this particular curriculum is that it uses quotes from some of the founding fathers or famous missionaries or presidents, things like that, to copy those things. Has you practice the letter and then copying a word multiple times. And then as the week progresses, it gets more and more where you end up copying more of the original quote from the person. And so he is absolutely obsessed with American history. And so when I found this, I knew that he would really enjoy this particular handwriting versus just copying a bunch of random words and that kind of stuff. So he's excited to dive into this for next school year. For spelling for him, we are going to be going through this McGuffey's spelling book that I found, which is basically just a bunch of word lists. So I will be able to find the place where he is at, because this goes from very basic words up to very advanced words. So we'll just find the spot where he doesn't just get every single word the first try, and then we will start working through this in doing things like just copying and some dictation and different things like that for him to continue improving on his spelling. So that is kind of the last component of language arts that he will be doing in 7th grade. Okay, so next up for him is math. And if you've watched my last couple videos where we went through 3rd grade and 5th grade, you heard me mention that we have recently switched from teaching textbooks to Singapore primary mathematics. One of the big reasons that we made the switch was in particular because of my child that is my oldest child that's going to be going into 7th grade. He is very scientifically minded and loves physics and all of those kinds of things. And he, in order to be able to be successful in doing physics or advanced physics or things down the road, he's going to need a really, really strong foundation in maths. And I did not feel like he was getting that with teaching textbooks. So for him, for example, this year for 6th grade, he was doing level 7 in teaching textbooks, which I felt like was close to grade level standard. We found that every year that we've done our standardized testing, there's been subjects for his grade level that teaching textbooks just hasn't even covered at all yet. And so even though he's done one level up from his grade level pretty much every year that we've done it. And so I've been just kind of having these concerns about it and not covering what it should be covering. And so I started looking into different curriculum, and I found Singapore and really loved the concept and the approach of how they teach this. And then when I went to do the placement for him, I found that even though he's doing grade or level 7 in teaching textbooks, we had to go all the way back to level 5B in Singapore to find a comparable level to what he was doing in level 7. So I don't know if either Singapore is very advanced or teaching textbooks really behind, probably somewhere in between. But right now we're currently working through 5B in Singapore, and we're gonna try to get through some of 6A over the summer. So hopefully he'll be able to start out 7th grade year on level 6B, and then we will move up. But their primary mathematics, I believe, only goes up through level 6. But then they have a newer program that's called Dimensions Math, which is also Singapore Math, just a different version of it, that goes up through level 8. So we will probably then be switching over to that for level 7 for him halfway through this coming school year. Next individual subject is going to be science. Now for him, he, again, like I said, is loves science and has always loved science, and does a lot of just nonfiction reading on his own because he really enjoys it. So he's going to be doing his own curriculum this year on his own, as opposed to doing it family style like we've done in years past, because he's just ready to move on ahead of his siblings. And so we chose, it's a big one, Apologia's physical science. And this is a middle school program on their website. It says it's for 8th grade. So FYI, if you have a 7th grader, you might want to start with their other one that I believe is called General Science, is what they suggest for 7th grade. But again, because he's been so obsessed with science for so many years, he already knew a lot of the information that was going to be taught in that program. So we chose this one for him instead. So he's going to be doing this on his own. So it has this huge textbook that is nice because it's full color. It goes through covers a lot of stuff in here. And then it has the student workbook that goes along with it. And it has journaling pages and worksheets and different things that has stuff for you to do and projects to work on and that kind of stuff. So he's excited about doing something that's a little bit more advanced this coming school year, because he really wants to get through some of this stuff so that he can move on to physics. All 3 of our boys also do piano lessons using the Simply Piano app on our iPad. So that is something that they'll be continuing in the fall. For Christmas this year, we just got them a guitar. So in this coming fall, they will have the choice of doing music lessons, and they can choose whether or not they want to do the piano or the guitar. And we really enjoy the Simply Piano app, and I've got a video about it here if that's something that you want to check into too. He also just does a ton of reading on his own. Like I mentioned, a lot of nonfiction, as well as some assigned readers that come along with our history curriculum that we do family style. So make sure you stay tuned for tomorrow's video that's going to be going through our family subjects that we do all together. So certainly these things that we covered are not all he's going to be doing for next year. The rest of it you'll find out tomorrow. Thanks so much for watching today. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you next time.